Hello, welcome to this Pranayama class. I'm Eyal and here is my daughter, Khalil Shifroni, and we're going to do a short introduction to Pranayama. We'll start with the chanting Om, so sit upright, make sure you ground yourself on your buttock bones, so you may move the flesh of the buttocks sideways, and establish yourself on the bone. Then the spine should be erect and alert, shoulders back and down, neck long, and you look forward at eye level. Relax your eyes. Imagine you want to see the inner space of the skull, and observe how the eyes become soft and flat. And then at the right moment, release the upper eyelids and close your eyes completely. Bring your hands in front of the chest. Relax your face, relax your eyes, relax your jaws and tongue. And we'll chant Om 3 times. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, head down with gratitude for this precious opportunity to practice yoga. And then release your hands. Slowly lift your head and gently open your eyes. We're ready to start. And just before we start, I just want to remind you about the work of the diaphragm, which is the main breathing muscle. In fact, when we breathe normally, the only muscle that we use is the diaphragm, and it works on its own. And it's an amazing muscle because it works 24/7 without any break or stop. And the shape of the diaphragm is like a jellyfish or a bell. It means it convex in this way. And in normal inhalation, we contract the muscles of the diaphragm. On the top here, the dome of the diaphragm is central tendon. It doesn't contract. The muscles are more or less vertical here. Okay? This is a shape here. And when we contract this muscle, usually we just pull this dome of the diaphragm slightly down. The diaphragm becomes a little bit flat. Exhale, we release, and it becomes convex again. So, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I'm explaining this because I want you to watch this movement of the diaphragm. In pranayamic breath, we are not allowing the belly to inflate so much. We hold it in. So what happens is, instead of pulling the central tendon down, it will also lift because the diaphragm is attached to the ribs here, bottom ribs. It will also lift the ribs. So the movement is more like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So this is the top of the diaphragm, more or less here, and it is connected here. And when the muscle contracts, it opens, widen, and lift these ribs. You see, so the belly is not going out. So I want you to watch the movement of the diaphragm as much as you can, even in the few asanas we do as a preparation. Pause for a moment, and if you want to get updates from me, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel below here. And also you may visit my website, eyalshifroni.com, in which I have many online courses. Each online course has 5 classes, we have from all levels. We have for beginners and also for advanced, a selection of classes that you can purchase and practice on your own without any time limit. Also, you can get information about my workshops around the world and about books. And in the blog, there are many articles about yoga and about the philosophy of yoga. Okay, we can get started. So we start in Adho Mukha Svanasana. You may take 2 blocks to make it a little bit easier so you can watch the breath. So take 2 blocks and put your hands on the blocks. If you don't have blocks, it's also okay. Okay, clear. Please take the blocks. Put the blocks. And put your hands on the blocks. And then step back. Okay, so in Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog, you want to extend the spine back and up. So the main engine of the pose is the top thighs that should go back. Okay, and buttocks should go up and heels should go down, and you open the back of your knees. Elbows should be strong. Once you settle in the pose, you create the basic structure of the pose, you'll start to observe the breath. So you can relax your head, relax the back of the neck, just allow the head to hang freely. And hold the pose, don't try to improve with the pose or to do maximum pose now, but just observe the movement of the diaphragm. As you inhale, imagine the diaphragm becomes more flat. Exhaling, it has become more rounded, convex. Watch this movement as you stay in the pose. So you can make the breath slightly longer, slightly deeper, so this movement will be more noticeable. So you can connect to it. So slow, soft exhalation, belly goes in, diaphragm becomes rounded, and then you use the muscle actively to inhale, so it opens and it becomes flatter. Okay, and then come forward to Uttanasana. So you can just do simple Uttanasana with your hands down. I'm going to show you a way to go a little bit deeper in Uttanasana if you are mature enough, if you're flexible. So you can use the wall, and you can start by bending the knees and roll forward. Roll forward and slide your back down, and then straighten your legs. Open the back of the knees. So you're leaning on the wall, and you allow your back to slide down, and then watch your breath. Again, it's a different type of breath than that of Adho Mukha Svanasana, but the diaphragm works the same. When you inhale, it becomes flatter. Exhaling, release the diaphragm, release the belly. So slightly longer exhalations in Uttanasana. And then slowly come up. And we're going to do one more pose as a preparation. So I'm going to do Viparita Karani, which is inverted pose. Khalil happens to be today in period, so when you are period, you're not supposed to do inverted asanas. It's not good for your cycle. So instead, she's going to do Setubandha Sarvangasana. Okay, so for Viparita Karani, I'm going to use 2 blocks that will... I'll do it here. So the 2 blocks should be wide enough, and the reason I use them is to keep the space between the bolster that I'm going to use and the wall. I'm going to put 2 blankets here. And bolster on top. So because bolster alone does not give you enough, the platform for Viparitha is not big enough, it's not wide enough, it's not tall enough. So I'm going to use this so the blocks prevent the bolster from moving to the wall when I go into the pose. And I use 2 blankets here. Of course, you have to adjust it according to your size and your flexibility. And Leila is going to do Setu Bandha, so she takes a belt and make a small loop in the belt to put on the big toes. So this will hold the legs, so you don't have to be too active with the legs. You lie down and you slide down until the shoulders are down. Okay, the shoulders should be down, the chest open. So the bolster should reach the top chest to allow this shape, rounded shape of the upper chest, and then you spread the heels slightly and relax. If you feel some pressure in the lower back, you can lift. Okay, you can lift the heels on some support. Okay, I'm going to go into Viparita Karani. So you can do Viparita Karani if you have the props. If not, Setu Bandha on some pillow if you don't have a bolster. And if you're in period, don't do Viparita Karani. And just pay attention that blocks should be separated apart such that your pelvis can go in between. Don't make them too close to each other. Once you're in the pose, close your eyes, relax your face, relax your ears, relax your eyes, and watch your breath. Slow, soft exhalation, slow, soft inhalation. Watch the movement of the diaphragm. Watch the movement of the ribs, especially the floating ribs or the bottom ribs. But keep your face absolutely soft and relaxed. Slow, soft inhalation. Slow, soft exhalation. Connect completely to the movement of the breath. And when we want to breathe deeper, we start to use other muscles, especially the intercostal muscles, but also many more muscles. And then we can reach more the top chest. Okay, these 2 poses allow more opening of the top chest, the top parts of the lungs. So exhale completely, pause at the end of exhalation, and then slowly inhale without puffing the belly. Keep the abdominal wall so it is not, don't allow it to move up when you're in the pose. It should stay in, close to your back. And then you can feel the widening of the ribs. Stay a few more moments to relax, to open the chest. Prepare for pranayama. And then slowly slide. So if you are in Viparita Karani, you slide away from the wall. If in Setu Bandha, you slide a little bit to the head side and then you roll to your right side, lie on your right side. And here I'm going to cross my legs on the bolster and stay a little bit. Don't come up before you feel the circulation comes back to normal, because Viparita Karana is inverted. So you should allow the circulation to come back to normalcy, and then also roll to the right side, and from the right side come up. Okay, and now we go to Pranayama. We start in lying down Pranayama. So B.K.S. Iyengar said that the practice of the yoga has two facets. It's like bird with two wings. One is asana, one is pranayama. And a bird cannot fly with one wing. At the same time, the practitioner cannot make big progress with one limb only. You have to practice asana and pranayama. And I know that pranayama is difficult from some people because it requires more concentration, more focus. So I hope this video will help you to go into this practice. And we start in lying down because it's easier. You don't have to hold your back in sitting, and then we'll show you a way how to make the sitting also easier and more stable. So you need 3 blankets and a belt. And we threefold them. The way to threefold the blanket is to do like this, like an accordion. And today there are many ways to use the blankets. Today I'm going to show you something that we use the 2 blankets and make a cross shape. So we put 1 blanket here, and then you need another blanket to support your head. So you just fold it and put it for your head. Okay, and then you sit in front of the support, okay, on your sticky mat, and take the belt again for the toes, for the big toes, like we did before. Okay, now before you straighten your legs, keep your feet down and lie down. Okay, then buttocks you move away. You can use your hands to move the buttocks away. And then extend the spine the other side to the head side and adjust the position of the blanket. See if this, if you want to move a little bit this widthwise blanket, or if it's comfortable, it should allow, of course, the shoulders to go down. And you should extend the back of the neck, move the back of the head away, and then adjust the blanket to support not only the head, but also the back of the neck. And then the arms sideways, you can slightly even fold the blanket here to put the arms a little bit here. And finally, you slide your heels away. So the back of the legs are extended, heels are going far away, and then you can also put some weight on the thighs to allow you to relax. And you close your eyes and observe your breath. So we start by what is called in the book Light on Pranayama Ujjayi number 1, which is just lying down this way with an open chest and observing the normal breath with soft eyes. So you need first to be in Shavasana. So you can relax your face again, allow the eyebrows to move away from each other, the outer corner of the eyes to widen to the temples, the cheeks to move away from the nose. Lower jaw is releasing, going a little bit, create a little bit space between the jaws, and allow the tongue to rest in the mouth cavity. So there is no tension in the tongue, it is spread. And then you relax the muscles of the throat. If the throat is tight, you cannot breathe deeply. So observe the muscle of the throat and allow the inner walls of the throat to widen. Then relax your shoulders. Observe the weight of your elbows. Observe the hands and the fingers If there's no tension, soften your belly, soften your buttocks. Buttocks should be long toward your heels and also wide. If you feel there's some fold in the muscle of the buttock, you can still adjust it. Widen. And then the thighs heavy. Extend your legs away to the heels and relax your feet. So your whole body is in relaxed state. And then observe the breath. Normal breath. And it's quite amazing that we don't have to do anything for the diaphragm to act. It works on its own. It's a marvel. So first look at it, appreciate that you're completely passive, neutral, but the diaphragm keeps working, contracting for inhaling and then releasing, contracting, becoming more flat, releasing. It happens on its own. So learn to observe the operation of prana. This cosmic energy is called prana in yoga, and this is what makes you breathe. It's much above your willpower. It's a cosmic energy. Which, as long as we live, it gives us, it's a life force. Prana is a life force, life energy. But what is very interesting about the diaphragm, that it works on its own. It works in voluntary way, but it is also, in a way, it works involuntarily, but we also can control it to some extent. We cannot stop the diaphragm to act forever. Maybe we can hold 1 minute, 2 minutes without breathing, but then the diaphragm will take over because the prana is stronger than our willpower. But now we're going to start to use the observation and the activation of the diaphragm, of the other muscles, and make the exhalation longer, deeper. So exhale and empty your belly, and at the end of the exhalation, suck the sides of the navel slightly in, and then release and take a few normal cycles. So when you exhale, you should make sure that you take out everything, empty yourself as much as possible. Before we attempt to take in, we want to learn to empty. This stage is called Ujjayi number 2. Repeat a few cycles like this. Slow, soft, deep exhalation. Take out, take out, take out. And then pause. And gently suck the belly in. If you're on period, do it very gently. And a few normal cycles to recover. Okay, and from there we go directly to Ujjayi 4, which is long, controlled exhalation and long, deep, controlled inhalation. So after the full exhalation, belly in, tighten the abdominal wall, don't allow it to puff or to inflate, and exhale into your chest, observing the movement of the diaphragm, how the diaphragm lifts and opens the bottom ribs, and then middle ribs, and then top ribs. So the diaphragm becomes flat, and you hold, you pause for a minute, and then release, controlled release of the grip of the diaphragm, and watch how it becomes more rounded and convex, and take a few normal cycles. Relax your face, relax your eyes, relax your shoulders. When you're ready, another cycle. After a normal inhalation, exhale, slow, deep, continuous exhalation, very subtle. No, don't use force, don't use effort. And when you empty yourself, you hold for a minute or moment, and then slowly inhale. Watch the movement of the ribs, the movement of the diaphragm. And to go up, you need also the intercostal and other muscles. Sternocleidomastoid, for example, there are many muscles that we use. And when the chest is full, you hold for a minute, a moment, and then we exhale. Do it very gently, without effort. We just do 2 or 3 more cycles like this. You can go on your own pace. Just make sure in the upcoming cycle, observe also your eyes. So when you exhale, okay, if you're ready now, after a normal inhalation, exhale and watch your eyes. So the eyes tend to be soft when we exhale, like going in. Let's see if you can keep it also when you inhale. So when you're ready, you start slowly inhalation. It should be smooth and continuous throughout. The movement of the ribs should be smooth, and the eyes should remain soft, which requires attention and awareness. And after you pause for a moment, release. And repeat 2 more cycles on your own pace. I'll keep quiet so you can observe your own breath. And when you finish these 2 cycles, just stay there. And again, check your Shavasana. Scan throughout the body and see that it is all relaxed. And just listen to, I'm going to read something of B.K.S. Iyengar. This is from the book Ashtala Yoga Mala, Volume 2. This is a collection of all the work, the lectures, the interviews, the messages that Guruji B.K.S. Iyengar gave in his long life. And here he talks about Pranayama. So, the Pranayama is not only breathing exercise. Prana is the cosmic energy, as I explained. Ayama is extension, elongation, broadening, and so on. So, control of the prana. So pranayama, we want to move the prana in the body. So, the techniques of asana and pranayama are the vehicles of meditation and prayer. Inhalation, puraka, inhalation in Sanskrit is puraka, is acceptance of the Lord. Its retention, kumbhaka is the word for retention of the breath, is severing the Lord in the full deep stillness of the self. Exhalation, rechaka, is not simply the exhalation of breath, but it is the emptying of I, or the ego. Exhalation makes one impersonal, and hence it's not only fit instrument for the practitioner, but the highest form of surrender to the Lord. So you see that pranayama is not only breathing exercise. In inhalation is evolution process. From the core we go out. So we evolve, we express ourselves. And then exhalation, we surrender. It's involution, we come back to the core. Okay, let's say now you can bend your legs put your hands on your belly, and you can put your bolster in between your thighs as you roll to your right side, and stay a little bit on the right side before going to sit. Okay, so we're going to sit with the support of the wall and a block. And to measure the distance of first we put, usually it depends on the type of the bolster. If it's not dense enough, we add something here. And we use the block here to support the back. So the distance, you see, should be that the block is slightly inside the bolster here. And then you sit cross-legged on the bolster, and you take additional blanket to support your knees. Okay, sit cross-legged. And take another blanket and roll it. Put it on your feet. So in this pose, swastikasana, crossed legs, the knees should be just above your feet. You need to bring the knees closer. And then you put this roll on your feet so it supports your knees so you can relax your groins. And then you take the block and you go a little bit forward and then you lean back. You move your shoulders back. Okay, you may take another blanket if you have to put it on your top thighs to rest your hands. Elbows should go back, just a little bit more back than the shoulders, so they will move the shoulders back. And the spine, the dorsal spine is supported. So this is a way to make your spine stable and alert. And this is very important for pranayama and for meditation, to keep the spine alert, erect and stable. And then when you breathe deeply, you need to do Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock. So extend your neck, relax your shoulders, roll them back, and then head down, just hold the head and look inside. So you look into your lungs. And you can observe, the action, the movement of the breath. And then we just repeat the Ujjayi, the same way that we did Ujjayi 4. Here it is called Ujjayi 8. It is a sitting position. So after inhalation, you exhale deeply, completely exhale, empty yourself. At the end of the exhalation, suck the belly in, lower belly, upper belly, and then you start to inhale, maintaining the belly in, and open the side ribs, then middle ribs, and then top ribs. And pause, head down. Relax your face and slowly exhale. Controlled exhalation, slow exhalation. Observe how you release gradually and slowly the grip of the diaphragm, and now the diaphragm, the dome of the diaphragm, the top of the diaphragm is going up between your lungs, and the ribs are descending, coming closer to the spine. And then take a few normal cycles. So the spine does not move, it stays stable. And with a block, you make sure it is stable, you can feel it. Dorsal spine going in, shoulder blades in. But the ribs are moving in inhalation away from the spine. Exhalation, they are releasing back. But you keep your sternum lifted, even when you exhale. So, when you're ready, go to your next cycle. After normal inhalation, exhale deep, complete exhalation. Of course, you go on your own pace. I'm just giving you a general pace. And after, belly in, inhale into the chest, and observe bottom ribs spreading, lifting, middle ribs, top ribs. And exhale. Relax your face. And also here, see that when you inhale, you're not tensing your eyes and not creating tension on the brain. The brain should be passive and observing. Repeat a few cycles on your own rhythm, your own pace. And get tuned to this, cyclic movement of the breath, which reflects all the cycles in nature. the day and the night, sunrise, sunset, winter, summer, blooming in the spring and withering. So there's always evolution and involution. This cycle goes on, and the breath symbolizes this cycle of life, birth and death. Oh, keep your head down, keep your shoulders back, and soft down. They should go down to your elbows. And the block will help you to keep the spine stable and the dorsal spine in. Dorsal spine is the thoracic spine, the back part of the thoracic spine, which should go in. Skin of the face descending down to the chest. So, taking the head down also prevents extra pressure on the heart and the brain and the eyes. Mentally, it keeps you in the scene because you're directing your eyes into your lungs. But also, not less important, spiritually, this opening and lifting of the chest is expression of the ego. And we have to balance it with this humbleness of taking the head down. The brain, the proud brain should come to rest, should come and become humble. So pranayama is the whole art of not only breathing, but it's also working on the mind. And the Hatha Yoga Pradipika said that wherever the breath is doing, the mind is also doing. So the breath is a very important tool to work on the mind, to quieten the mind when you need, to relax when you need, and also to become more alert when you need. So finish your last cycle. Make sure you're not collapsing in exhalation, but with the block it is, it will be easy. And then take a few normal cycles. And when you're ready with normal inhalation, lift your head, remaining with closed eyes. And just observe again your normal breath. In normal breath, we allow the belly to protrude, to come out a little bit. When the diaphragm goes down, it makes more space for the lungs, and then inhalation comes. And then we release the diaphragm. It's a small movement. When we don't need a lot of oxygen, it's only small, slight movement of the diaphragm. Of course, when we do some activity, especially aerobic activity, then we need to breathe more, we use more muscles. And always finish with a Shavasana. For a few minutes of Shavasana flat on your sticky mat. So when you're ready, just lie down. You may have head support. And just relax. You can put the bolster under your knees, especially if there is some soreness or some load on the lower back from the sitting. Then you can put the bolster under your knees. If not, you can put the bolster on the thighs like it was before. And just lie down, arrange your Shavasana, spread your body, adjust the blanket for the head. The blanket keeps the chin slightly in. It should not be too high, but if we don't use the blanket often, for many people, the chin sticks out. And then the back of the neck becomes short. So the blanket allows the back of the neck and the front of the neck to be on the same length. So you have a straight spine, cervical spine. And we stay for a few minutes, just releasing all the body weight on the floor, on Mother Earth. Surrendering to gravity. Do not hold, do not contract any muscle. Scan your body from inside and release, let go completely. So you become heavy. And after like 5 minutes, when you rested enough, you can slowly come out of the Shavasana. So we use the inhalation. So inhale slightly deeper, gradually, just a little bit, slightly deeper inhalation, and then put your hands on your body on your belly maybe, and then inhale, fold one leg, inhale, exhale, bend the other leg, and then you can take the bolster again in between your thighs and roll to your right side, and support your head, the right temple, with your right hand, and fold yourself like an embryo, knees close to your chest. And then when you're ready, turn to look down, so the head will come up last, and you use your left hand to push and to sit up. And then just reflect, so you can join your hands if you want, or just keep them on your thighs with closed eyes. Just observe, how do you feel? How is your body? How is your breath? And more important maybe, how is your mind? So if you feel quiet, balanced, focused, and very spacious, the mind should be very spacious, then you get something of the experience of yoga as Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Suspension or retention of the movement of the consciousness and becoming more quiet, more relaxed, more focused. And then exhale, head down. Thank you for watching. Release your hands and slowly lift your head.